So there's never been a better time in the world to be an entrepreneur. The only thing you need to be successful as an entrepreneur is you need passion, right? If you're doing what you're passionate about, you're gonna organically start to build the relationships you need to be successful. You just need that passion, and people are gonna feel it. On top of the passion, though, you're gonna have to have self-discipline. And I always tell people self-discipline is really being obedient to yourself and being able to carry out the plans you make and the commitments you undertake, right? So if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, how you doing? What's going on?
Yeah, okay. Now, isn't that what the right would tell us? That you're an individual, that it's nothing wrong with being an entrepreneur, but everybody can't be a doctor.
Sure.
And everybody is not cut out. This is not to say that they can't.
That's a great quote. I feel you. If you don't want to be an entrepreneur and you're looking to get a job, then regardless of what color you are, you have to develop skills people are willing to pay for. Period.
And that comes along with that.
we're
you
all
have to
we're
sell yourself. You are the product.
Yeah.
I am the product, and I must be polished from inside out in order to sell myself.
Agreed.
To an employer.
Agreed.
That's
We're born with talents, but we're not born with skills. So you're not born knowing how to read, knowing how to write, knowing how to program or build websites. You got to develop those skills that people are willing to pay for. Now, as far as
Okay, you said you were standing outside.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's not an entrepreneur.
Sure, it is.
An entrepreneur has to pay rent. An entrepreneur has to pay light. An entrepreneur has to pay somebody to be there when he's not there.
Sure.
Okay? And
sure.
you don't have that as overhead.
Well,
now, when you have that as overhead, that suddenly now impacts is that
well, let me
you come through my door and buy something, and after a period of 4 or 5 days,
Thank you.
And I'm here at the end of the week, I have to pay this person. I got to wonder, how am I going to keep these lights on?
Yeah.
How am I going to do these things?
I understand what you're saying. But I just told you that I was selling my books, and books just didn't come out of the clear blue sky. In order, I had to pay for printing, I had to pay for editing, I had to pay for graphics.
Okay, but you have the overhead of having a store.
Sure.
Okay. I deal with businessmen, and they'll tell you, we wake up in the middle of the night and sit up in bed and wonder, how am I going to pay all these bills?
Well, I do the same thing with my home. I mean, this is my full-time job, so I wake up and I say, hey, I got light bills, I got gas bills, I got a little daughter, so on the streets, I'm hustling. That is an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Exactly. I think.
What I'm trying to say is that the entrepreneur, he has a lot of extra overhead that when the man is on the street, he doesn't have that extra overhead.
Sure. Well. Sure. So
that takes away from his profit level.
I understand what you're saying. If you as an entrepreneur, okay, so a business owner, their only job is to keep prices low for the customers and return investments, maximize profits for the investors, right? So I want to, before I get into that, I'm gonna touch bases on that. But I am an entrepreneur, and I really am. I do feel like I'm an entrepreneur. But as far as job creation, I don't think job creation is something the government does well anyway. I think the government they can create an environment that's favorable to job creation through legislation. I think government can help job creation by providing funding for job training. I think government can coordinate job creation by legislators calling CEOs and saying, hey, let's hire. And I think government can invest in projects like roads or bridges, which can stimulate job growth. But ultimately, I think job creation falls on the shoulders of the business owners. Businesses, they have to step up and hire people. And this is something they're not going to do if it's not for profit, because they're for profit, right? So businesses, they're going to step up and hire people. I'll get to you in a second. Businesses, they'll step up and hire people if they can make profit, right? Businesses will step up and hire people if they can, if they need the skills, and businesses are going to step up and hire people if they can reduce some regulatory burdens and/or taxes, right? This is not personal, it's business, right? When you hear somebody saying these businesses or corporations are immoral, I think that's a convenient distraction or a convenient diversion, right? If you think about it, because corporations are doing what they're supposed to do. Like I said, they're keeping prices low for their customers and maximizing returns for their investors. So to publicly condemn a corporation for paying low wages, it might be emotionally gratifying, but it has little to do with the forces that impel these corporations to keep the wages low in the first place. You see what I'm saying?
Low wages. Okay. If it costs $2.50 to get on the bus and I only make 75 cents, how can I ride the bus?
You gotta hustle. You get on the streets and sell your product.
The thing is that okay, so now I got 5 jobs,
Sure.
and I make $1.35, and it still costs $2.25. And you're gonna tell me is that this guy has set, like, the standard is set.
Yes.
It's gonna be $2.25 irregardless, okay? But the game is not level. Okay, the game says is that he can pay me any amount he wants to pay me, and unless the state steps in and say that we got a minimum wage or something like that,
Concern. Doesn't that business owner have a responsibility to his country to hire in his country if he is selling his product to his country?
Well, see what this.
Because what they're doing is they're going overseas.
Yeah, yeah,
Getting
and
super cheap labor.
because they're paying you on a global scale now, as opposed to what you're worth. Like you see, to publicly
There is no
condemn.
responsibility.
No, what I'm saying is like corporations, they're playing the game. It's up to us as citizens to create the rules of the game and make sure those rules reflect our values as citizens. So when you hear a politician or when you hear, like most people, they say, oh, this company is paying low wages, but then these are the same people that go around and shop for the best deals from China or India, which are at the cost of American wages.
The rules as a people, you can change the rules as a politician.
But we vote
But
for our
in the
politicians. We elect them.
politician- In the politician's pocket is not the people, it is the corporations.
And the
They
lobbyists.
are in, yeah, right, they're in the
Lobbyists.
pocket of the politician. So until you can't change that.
Sure.
Until you change that, you got to get the corporations out of the politician's pocket so they can make good decisions.
I agree that elections cost a lot more money nowadays.
Because all their decisions are being influenced by the money.
I agree that elections cost a lot more money nowadays, and politicians do have to raise money.
They all do wrong.
Well, one second. So actually, go ahead, ask your question.
The question is about unemployment, right? Unemployment conversation.
Yes. The reason, as I see it, why there's so much unemployment is because there's too many people with the wrong skills for the jobs that are available, right? So there's too many people with the wrong skills for the jobs that are available. Corporations, they're looking to hire people who are skilled and experienced and are willing to make what they're willing to pay. And they're willing to pay you on a global scale. They're not going to pay you on a...
Too many people with the wrong skills.
Too many people with the wrong skills for the jobs that are available.
Nurses.
Excuse me?
And I've seen them lay off teachers, I've seen them lay off nurses, and how is it wrong skills? The thing is that if I am in the position.
That's a layoff. We're talking about-
Need your services, then I hire you.
Sure.
The thing
That's
is
one of the
that-
reasons you would hire me, yeah.
Right, but then you gotta take in consideration NAFTA, North American Free Trade Treaty.
Sure.
They took all the jobs and moved them straight out of
You
Dodge.
can say that, but if you're a type of person that's gonna go shop at Walmart, then you know if it's like saying you're concerned about global warming and driving an SUV. You can say one thing, but if you say, okay, I'm upset about the businesses closing on 79th Street, there's not a lot of local businesses. What are you shopping on Walmart on 83rd for? Because that's at the cost of the wages.
Dollar store